Welcome to Wednesday's edition of the DCEU Daily. The culture nerd believe they have an exclusive. Let's take a look at this. Ben Affleck signs on for HBO Max and more films as Batman, written by Marcus Panham. Sources close to TCN have confirmed Ben Affleck has signed on for more films as Batman, as well as his own HBO Max series. This news comes after an exclusive from Vanity Fair in August confirmed Affleck would return to the cal for Andy Muschietti's The Flash. Our sources have now confirmed Affleck intends to continue his role as the Dark Knight, as he has signed on to appear in an undisclosed amount of films featuring his version of Batman. It remains to be seen which films these are exactly. We can also confirm part of his signing includes the proposed HBO Max project, which we had previously reported was being considered. If Ben would be okay with doing it. With Affleck now on board, the HBO series is working on plot details. We can report that the big focus being looked at for the series is a backstory for Robin and how losing a boy wonder made Batman into the jaded individual we see in Batman v Superman. You can listen to our EIC Taylor Murphy discuss the HBO project below on Lightcast podcast from last Friday. Well. Listen, there's nothing that would make me more excited than this being true. That Ben Affleck has signed up to play Batman in multiple HBO Max projects. And the Robin backstory would be absolutely fantastic. But until Ben Affleck and HBO Max confirm this, as well as Jason Killer, I don't believe it. I won't accept it, and that's the end of it. We all report stuff. We all say we've spoken to sources. We all warn you that these sources may be lying, may be, misrepresenting the facts just to get their 5 minutes, right? We warn you. This is reported as a fact. Now, Grace Randolph is denying this and saying this is untrue. You can take as nothing what Grace Randolph says mostly. She's right now and again. You can take as nothing what the culture nerd is saying. And they can claim that they're right sometimes, both of them. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. As I say, when the Green Lantern series was confirmed by the Hollywood Reporter, it was literally followed by Jason Killer confirming it. And everybody else who's working on it. No one's confirmed this from HBO Max. Zack Snyder hasn't confirmed this. Ben Affleck hasn't confirmed this. No one of any note has confirmed this. And until the official sources, the people actually being reported to be involved in these projects, come out and say, I'm proud to be playing Batman again. Once we get that from Ben, it's a thing. It's happening. But this is just another kind of clickbait article. I don't want to cast dispersions on the cultured nerd or Grace Randolph. But for me, even when I'm giving you stuff and saying this is going to happen and that's going to happen, I still am not 100% sure it's going to happen. And that's how I report it. That's how responsible people act. But when people pass off a rumour as fact, you can't accept it. As I say, you and me would like nothing more than this to be true. But as I say, until Ben Affleck confirms this via his Twitter account or his representatives, it absolutely isn't true. This is something that we are desperate to happen, and it could absolutely happen. He's coming back as Batman in the Flash movie. Something we didn't think would ever happen, and it's happening. He's coming back as Batman again. That's massive. That's exciting. This could be just the beginning. But I repeat again, until this is confirmed by the proper sources, you cannot accept it, or as fact, or anything else. But this is typical of people like the cultured nerd, and we've got this covered, reporting rumours or something they've pulled out the air as fact, and then pulling out sources. Sorry, I don't believe you. Now, you may be telling the truth. And when this is confirmed in a day or two, if it is, I will apologise and say, you know what? I should have took what you were saying on faith. But right now, the cultured nerd have reported too many things that have turned out not to be true. Again, this is a great example of not reporting things accurately. Let me read a quote from Colin Farrell, who's playing Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, on Matt Reeves' The Batman. They had a little bump in the road a few weeks ago that you may or may not have read about. They are back shooting now. I start up again after a 7-month break on Monday. I shoot until February on and off. Now, this has been taken as the Batman is shooting up until February. So that could be true or that could be untrue. But we do know that Colin Farrell is shooting up until February because it's come out of his mouth. And that's fair enough. Can't wait to see Colin's performance. It's going to be amazing. He doesn't even look like Colin Farrell. It's going to be one of those great moments in movie history. But again, just because he's filming up to February the 7th, it doesn't mean the movie stops filming on February the 7th. But this is how all these sites are selling it. Again, we've also heard that the Batman is using the same technology as the Mandalorian. It's virtual technology. It means you can do it from a computer screen. Very, very interesting. A way to avoid COVID shutdowns again. I can't wait for all the shooting to be completed so all the haters don't get what they want. They're loving the whole stop-start thing. As soon as we get the stop-start thing because of COVID, we get stupid reports that Pattinson is misbehaving and he's going to be sacked, blah, blah, blah. Absolute nonsense. We know it's absolute nonsense. It's good to hear, though, that Colin Farrell is doing some shooting very soon after such a long break, and he's shooting up until February. But who knows how long the shoot of the Batman will actually take. Right, what we fought for is happening. We fought for the Snyder Cut. They are back filming additional photography. Now, this is from Samantha Wynn, I think, on Instagram. And I think she must be one of these extras. Look at this. Look at this beautiful sight. And as you can see already, the Amazonian costumes look a lot different than they did in Justice League, proving that they weren't Zack's costumes in the first place. So, looks pretty amazing, right? So that's been posted by Samantha Wynn. What else we got? Now this has been posted by Fabian Wagner, of course, very much involved with everything that Snyder does. And he posted this. Now he's posted something like this before, but they're definitely back shooting. Now very important to see there that no one of note is actually in frame. What I'm saying is no Cavill. We know he's not involved. He said he's not involved. We'll see what happens there. You know, no Gal Gadot, no Ezra Miller. So it's interesting to kind of follow this with great anticipation because thus far we've got these extras there, but we don't have, I mean, they're probably more than extras, but we don't have anyone there. So it's additional photography. Is it more like pickups or is it reshoots? It's interesting. It's interesting what he's adding on. We know he definitely has to add on the Martian Manhunter stuff, but is there anything with the main cast in these reshoots? I mean, look, he's been given 70 million, but I think he hasn't been given 70 million for additional photography. He's been given 70 million for additional CGI, things, and of course the pickups and the additional photography as well. I suspect that the main cast aren't going back to do reshoots. I could be wrong, but listen, the guy has got over 4 hours of film already. So obviously there's a few things, as he's admitted over on Vero, that he wants to add into it. So we will keep on following this and seeing how the Snyder Cut progresses. And of course, will we get an actual release date by the end of this year? I certainly hope so. Finishing off, as we've covered today's DC news, I want to look at the Joker and Batman vs Superman because they have one thing in common. The Joker movie doesn't blatantly say it, of course, but the whole kind of commentary in that film is basically social media. It's about people shouting at each other, being nasty to each other. He says it on Robert De Niro's show, Affleck. But nobody cares about what where the other person you're shouting at is coming from. And in Batman vs Superman, I was watching someone's, analysis of it. Like it was like an hour analysis over on YouTube, and I forgot what the guy's called, and I feel a bit embarrassed about that. But he's saying like Batman and Superman, grow this disdain against each other, but they don't have the facts. They don't know each other. They're making assumptions about each other. Clark doesn't know Bruce Wayne. He doesn't know Batman. He doesn't know that this is a good person who saved probably hundreds and thousands of lives. He saved lives as well. And when it comes to Batman, Batman knows nothing about Cal. He doesn't know where he's from. He doesn't know what he's lost. He doesn't know about his upbringing. It's only when he realizes that he's got a human mother that he sees him as a person. And I think both films are commentary on the human condition we face now because of social media. As soon as someone posts something online, we react to it. It's like when you get the whole, reports in the papers and on the news programs in BVS. Clark's seeing these things. He's seeing that, he's branding villains. And, Clark is one of these people that all throughout his history, actually, whatever kind of representation he's been given, he's always been this character who hates bullies, and so he jumps on it. But he doesn't know the facts because the facts are being manipulated. He's just seeing a headline. He's just seeing a news show and he's jumping on it. And Lex Luthor is manipulating both of them like this. And it's very similar with the Joker. And we do it all the time in our real lives. We see something and then you've heard about like the Twitter mob. That's just us, the Twitter mob. As soon as someone says something that isn't exactly the opinion everyone else is having, we jump on them without thought, without feeling to how they're feeling. Imagine all these people on social media ganging up on one person because we don't like what they say. And this is exactly the commentary we get in BVS and the Joker movie. We have become something so different, so negative, so dark. And unless we reevaluate the way we treat each other, humanity, this world is going through a really dark tunnel. And this is why Batman vs Superman and the Joker are actually precautionary tales that we should actually be listening to. Batman vs Superman is Marty McFly singing to people in 1955. I don't think you guys are ready for it yet, but your kids are going to love it. And I think that is exactly right, isn't it? When it comes to BVS, your kids are going to love it because the people from this generation are too used to seeing wham, bam, here it is, all packaged for you, looks great, few gags, boom. That's what people wanted the DCEU to be. But Zack Snyder had other ideas. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.